You know, a lot of times I would find myself in a situation where I'm kind of like aimlessly wasting my time. Like I'm kind of just sitting there doing something that's like, I don't know, scrolling or watching YouTube videos about something that's not even helping me. Just like purely just entertainment, right? And so that would happen a lot when I just didn't know kind of. Well, I sort of knew what to do. Like I knew, hey, I could be spending this time doing my meditation for today, or going to the gym, or like going to my to-do list and kind of making just doing something from there. But I kind of wouldn't, and I would kind of just postpone it. And I kind of I kind of have these like two pieces of advice that kind of really helped with just getting your life in order, just getting things going properly. And it's you got to start the day off good. Like you can't start your day off with your phone or watching reels or watching TikTok. You got to start off your day just having like a morning routine where you like wash your face, you do some skincare, maybe you shower in the morning. Just doing that with no phone or nothing, no messages. The first, I don't know, hour to 3 hours of your day being sacred. And then the second piece of advice is I actually heard it from Andrew Tate, uh, which I know a lot of guys don't really like him these days. I don't really watch him anymore, but uh, I mean, I don't really care about what people think about people. If I hear something good and I think it's good advice, then I'm gonna follow it. I don't really care who said it. But he said the only thing you need to worry about is what is the next best move, right? So every time you're wondering what to do, or you have some free time on your hands, just ask yourself, what is the best next move I could possibly make on the chessboard, because he's a chess player. But that is so helpful. Like imagine, like I said, you start off your day properly, and immediately the second you open your eyes, it's like, what is the best thing I could possibly do right now? Right? Like, what's my next best move? Okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth, or I'm gonna meditate, right? And then you meditate, and then when you're done with that, you don't just immediately reflexively pick up your phone. You're done with that. Okay, you sit there for a second, and you're like, okay, now what is the best next move that I could possibly make right now? Well, I have some time before I have to go to work or go to school, so I have plenty of time to hit the gym, shower, and then get ready for whatever I gotta do with most of my day. So boom, you just do that. And then once you're done with the gym and everything, and you're showered, you're like, what's the best possible next move? And at that point, it's like, okay, I gotta go to school, or I gotta go to work. Let me get ready for that. Then you go to work, you do work, and then right after work, it's like, okay, what is the best next move now? Right? You could go home. Um, that seems like the obvious choice, but maybe on your way home, you can go to the car wash, or you need to put gas on your car so that tomorrow morning you don't have to do it, right? And just I- imagine going through your life with just constantly after every decision, what is the best next move, right? Now, of course, sometimes the best next move is gonna be, okay, I'm just gonna chill now, right? You gotta you gotta put some time towards relaxing, and it should actually be a substantial, like a substantial amount of time, because you don't want to be a slave. I'm not trying to advertise the idea of like every single minute of your day should be optimal, and you're working every single second. Like you go to your job, and then you go home, and then you do your side hustle. Uh, that's a slave. Like you're basically a slave. You just work all the time. This productivity. or this grind set shit I don't really like. Um, and by leisure, by the way, it doesn't have to be playing video games, right? Well, that's actually one of the least uh productive ways. Well, not no, I'm not talking about productivity, obviously, but it's just like, for example, you can read a book. That's relaxing, right? You gotta lower your standards of like what makes you entertained or what makes you relaxed or what gets your mind off things. The video games are like too much dopamine or scrolling reels. I think anime is pretty good, or some sort of like movie that's not some goy slop, something with with high t- testosterone, like old movies like Terminator or the Expendables. Those three movies are so good. Expendables is like, oh my god. You got Sylvester Stallone. You got uh the blonde guy that's like he was in Rocky with Sylvester. You got Jason Statham. You got The Rock. On I think he shows up on one of them, doesn't he? Oh no. I'm thinking about Fast and Furious. No, never mind. But then on the last one, I think Arnold shows up too. It's like of like if you want to have some chill time, just watch that then, or read a book, or you could also hang out with people too. Like that's one of the best, dude. Like have high standards for your rest time. Make sure that rest time is valuable. Don't have it just be phone time or or uh, sort of or video game time. It's just like, I mean, if you're playing with a bunch of friends that, like, for example, I have a friend that lives in Argentina and we're very close. Like, this is one of my best friends, and he's solid. He's like a really good person, and I play like one of the only ways we can spend time together is by playing games, and that's what I do. And I save up time during my day where, okay, this time I get to relax and I get to play this game with a friend of mine, right? So yeah, I kind of just wanted to explain that, you know, this isn't advice in terms of make sure every single hour of your day, like what's the next move, what's the best next move? Oh, I gotta work, and then what's the next best move? Oh, I gotta work some more. Like no, uh, definitely not that. But one thing I've noticed is that you have to make sure that your leisure time or your free time is structured. Make sure that the time you spend just kind of unwinding or entertained is has a structure to it, because it's very easy for that to get out of hand, right? And it also gives you something to look forward to, because what ends up happening, like to the people that might hear that and be like, oh, but that's not fun. Like, how can you enjoy fun time if it's like limited? uh and obviously you think back to when you were a kid and you had to go back home or something, you always hated that. but but the thing is, like, that was a good thing, because when leisure time is whenever, it's going to be always. Like when your fun time can be whenever, you're always going to have fun time because that's what you want to do, right? Like you always want to be having fun. You don't want to work, you don't want to be productive, right? So you have to kind of structure it, and you have to structure like a lot of it, right? Of course, like you have to structure a lot of like entertainment time, right? You're not a slave, but you have to make sure that it is structured, because so that the work can happen. Like even if it's just 4 hours every day that you work at something, that isn't your main job, clearly, like obviously, you have your main job and then you spend some hours working on something else. That has to be structured. And because both the work, right, both the work and the fun time, the leisure time, are structured, they both happen. Whereas, at least for me, when I don't have that kind of structure, I just end up having a bunch of leisure time and like a tiny bit of work, you know? So, yeah, have that's basically those two points. You got to start off your day properly so that you can build that momentum. From the beginning of the day, you ask, what's the best next thing that I can possibly do, all the way to the end of the day. And that day, of course, would have some sort of structure to it. Okay, like, oh, let's say you work 8 hours every day, right? And then you have another 8 hours where you sleep, and then let's say you have um, oh, and by the way, I would count sleep as leisure time. Like, that's like, even though you're not awake, that's like relaxing. Like, you're relaxing. You're not busting your ass. Like, I would count that as part of your leisure time. And then what? So you have eight, and then you're 16. You have 8 more hours, and out of those 8 hours, let's say you spend 3 of them every day. Uh, wait, is it? Yeah. It's 8 more hours. Out of those 8, you spend 3 of them working on something, right? That's perfect. And then you have the other 5 hours to chill out and kind of just enjoy yourself. Like, read a book, do your meditation, do your shower and skincare. You know, um, but that's perfect. That's when like, if you're the kind of person that, if you have already recognized that whenever you give yourself the opportunity to be fluid, to be like, oh, I have to do this and I'll just kind of do it tomorrow, uh, but you notice that when you don't have some structure, or when you're kind of just winging it, you notice that you don't get anything done. Then you gotta have structure, right? You're not that kind of person, and that's fine. Some people can kind of just go with the flow, but some people need structure, or they just end up scrolling on TikTok, right? You gotta play with the cards you're dealt, and you gotta win. You gotta try to win with any debuffs that you have, with any disadvantages that you may have, right? So, yeah.